Hello, happy and smart developers. Welcome to the coding board. This is series of UI technologies, and today we are going to learn input control element part 3. So let's begin the session. Today we are going to understand disabled attribute of input element. Disable is Boolean value that indicates the input control element should be disabled. Let me explain with practical example. Suppose this is our HTML document and we have head section, then we have closing head section, then we have opening body section, and then we have closing body section. In head section I am writing disabled boolean attribute. Okay, and in body section what I am doing, I am creating one text box. Okay, in form tag, form action is equals to hash. Okay, and closing form, in form we have input elements. So what input element I am taking? Input type is equals to text. Okay, id is equals to name, name is equals to fname. Okay, now there should be label for input element, so I am taking label for first name, first name slash label. Okay, and what I am doing, I am going to make use of disabled attribute here. Disabled, observe carefully, at line number 6 we have disable attribute. Okay, first we will see without disable attribute and then we will see with disable attribute. Okay, and then we have new line, then we have new line, and then we have our submit button. Input type is equals to button, input type is equals to submit, id is equals to submit, name is equals to submit, and here we have its name slash, okay, value should be here, value is equals to submit. Okay, so our form is ready. Let's save the code, and I'm giving name disabled attribute dot html. Okay, and code is saved. Let's execute the code in Chrome browser. Here we go. Here is our attribute. Some mistake I have done. What is that mistake? I have not used title tag. Title opening and here we have title closing. Okay, good. Now let's save the code and refresh. So here we have disabled boolean attribute. First name, enter first name Mohsin and submit. Code is submitted. See here. This is from question mark. This is query string. Okay. What is name? Name is Mohsin and submit. Submit is equals to submit. So we have clicked on submit button and we have redirected to this hash. Form action is hash. If I will make it star, then just check star star. Save the code and refresh. Now first name Mohsin, submit button. Okay, file could not be accessed, star. It is giving different meaning. So what we will do, we will keep action empty. What is the use of action? This I will teach in JavaScript. Okay, just save the code and refresh. Refresh. Let me open in another tab. Code is saved, view and Chrome browser. Okay, now here what I'm doing, Mohsin is my name and click on submit button. Good. From question mark we have query string, name is equals to Mohsin and submit is equals to submit. So our code is working fine. But what if I use disabled attribute at line number 9? See here, input type is equals to text, id is name and name of this input box is fname. Now I am making use of disabled attribute. Okay, observe here line number 9. Now let's save the code and check the output in Chrome browser. See here what is happening. Let me increase the size. See, it is not allowing me to enter anything in text box of first name. Okay, understood. Now what I will do, I will remove this disabled at line number 9. I will remove this disabled attribute of input type and let me save the code. And now observe carefully. Where you will observe, in text box of first name. Okay, I am going to refresh the page. Observe carefully. In text box of first name, refresh. So now it is allowing me to enter my name. I have entered my name and it is submitted. Form is submitted. Now what I will do, see, what I will do, I will make use of disabled attribute. See, disabled attribute. If I use disabled, then it will not allow me to enter my name. Refresh. See here, I am not getting permission to enter anything, any text in text box of first name. Understood? So this is the use of disabled attribute. Now let's move on. Disabled controls. Disabled control cannot be edited. Disabled controls cannot be edited. It is simply telling that the input elements or not input elements, input control elements cannot be edited. Input control elements cannot be edited. input control elements are not sent on form submission. Let's check this. See here, it is not allowing me to enter anything. Now I am clicking on submit button. 1 2 3 click. It is not allowing me to submit, correct? See here, what I will do, disable. Where I have used disable now at line number 12. At line number 12 I am having input button which is submit, that I have made disabled. And let's save the code and refresh. See here, refresh. Okay, observe carefully. Now both are disabled. Text box is also disabled and submit button is also disabled. Now I will remove disabled attribute from line number 12. Let's save the code and execute. Here now I am able to submit, but as soon as I will write disabled attribute at line number 12, then I won't be able to submit this form. See, observe, I am going to refresh the page. Understood? So this is the magic of disabled attribute. Okay, now so disabled con control elements cannot be edited and are not sent on form submission and cannot receive focus. I have not taught yet. This I will explain in upcoming sessions what is focus. Okay, now checked. What is checked? When the value of the type attribute is radio or checkbox, the presence of this boolean attribute indicates that the input control element is selected by default, otherwise it is ignored. So there are some requirements where we need to choose any option by default without user interaction, then there we will use this attribute checked. Okay, now let's use this checked attribute. Where we use checkboxes, suppose I have three subjects and from them I need to select only one or two, or suppose the gender, in a gender I can select only one gender, correct? For that purpose what I will do, label for equal to gender slash label, and then we have radio buttons, label for male we have male slash label, then we have radio button, input type is equals to radio. Okay, input type is equals to radio, and now name is equals to, I am keeping it rd. Okay, name attribute, and id can be anything, radio 1. Okay, then I am making use of label and for is equals to female, and label will be female, then slash label. Okay, then we have radio button, input type is equals to radio, input type is equals to radio, name is equals to RD. I am keeping same name RD to group them in one particular group. Okay, ID can be is equals to radio 2. Now I am having label for other, and here I am having other label, then I am closing this label, then we have input type is equals to radio. Okay, here is some mistake. Okay, now it is fine. Input type is radio, name attribute will have same name RD, and ID attribute will have radio 3. Okay, so we have male, female and other option to select gender. So this is it. Then we have submit button after new line. Input type is equals to submit, name is equals to submit, ID is equals to submit form. Okay, and value should be name, submit. Fine, save the code and refresh. See here, gender options are male, female, other, and here we have submit. Okay, now just observe carefully what I will do now. In male option I will use one attribute of input control element. What is that? This is boolean attribute checked. Now observe carefully. I am going to save the code and refresh. Observe carefully. Where you need to observe? In male radio button. Okay, refresh. I am refreshing. 1 2 3. Refresh. See, automatically male option is selected, or we can say checked. This can be done with the help of checked boolean attribute of input control element. Understood? Now let me change this check to other. Okay, see, I am using checked boolean attribute check. Save the code, and then we have to refresh. 1 2 3, refresh. See, other is selected by default. Later we can change it, no problem. But if I refresh 1 2 3, refresh, then automatically other is already checked. Okay, so this is the magic of checked. That's it in this session. Let's meet in another session. Thank you.